I'm not teaching, I am publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for the Life in the UK test part 183, an aging population, that is on the page 65, while doing leg stretching. And if you participate in the leg stretching, that is at your own risk. So we're starting with the leg stretching. You bring one leg in front, with the heel onto the ground, and you pull the toes towards you. And from time to time, we're going to contract the quad muscles. So we're starting with contraction of the quad muscles. An aging population. People in the UK are living longer than ever before. And release the contraction of the quad muscles, but we keep it straight. So the people in the United Kingdom are living longer than they had done in the past. So the life expectancy is higher. And contract again the quad muscles. This is due to improved living standards and better healthcare. So how the people are living has improved a lot. But it had something to do also with the houses were not, and release contraction, that the people have a room to live, that they have better working condition, that they have time for leisure, that they have time to look for their family members, that they are not working all the time, that they can help their children, improve living situations and almost everything, improve living standards and better healthcare, and contract again the quad muscles, so that the people, when they have a disease, that it can be cured because they're having the National Health Service and it does not go on to a severe disease, or that they cannot work anymore because the disease was getting more severe and now they can't make money anymore and the living situation becomes worse. And relax for last time. And that would impact the life expectancy. There are now a record number of people aged 85 and over, and contract for last time. So there are more people over the age of 85 than had been ever before over the age of 85. And they are not saying that directly we're changing the leg, but this is meant not just in net numbers. I think it's a very expression. We are contracting the leg muscles, not just because the population has increased from 1900 almost doubled, or from 1850 more than three times, but that it is the percentage partial. The piece of it has increased. So not just in total numbers, but the percentual part has increased to the mean. And relax the quad muscles. This has an impact on the cost of pensions and healthcare. We get no further explanation. But that is enough for us, because pensions is that what people... Wait, not explain that. Pensions is what people are getting and release contraction when they had worked their whole life and had paid in during their whole life. But maybe they're going to explain it. There are a lot of yellow pages left. But if not, I don't know how it is. But the people are in contracting and are paying while they are working, like with insurance, what I explained, a small partial amount every month in. So when they're getting too old and they are too affected from getting older, then they can get out of work and get pension. They get the money basically back. But I don't know at all. If it's not explained, that would be a little problem. And we're going to the next exercise. We're having the leg at the outside, and we are having the toes pointing forward, and we're pressing a bit the leg into the ground. The anchor chain stability test. Just the name of the exercise. So, and healthcare. Because more people are older, that has an impact on healthcare, because when people get older, a lot of the things in the human body are also aging, and they more oftentimes need to visit the hospital to get them cured or treated. And relax the leg a bit, but we're keeping the leg there. Now that is all we have to an aging population. There's not that much written. So we have time to look for some inventions. So nothing new from now on. So if you like, you can go to the next part. And we're pressing a bit the leg into the floor. So we had the last thing was the Harrier jumper jet, where we can remember nothing else than Harrier jumper jet, and when it was developed in the UK, so Harrier jumper jet. And then we had, you have to be a Goodfellow, like James Goodfellow, to be trusted with your cash dispensing ATM machine first built by the Barclay Bank in the 60s and 1967 in the East End of London. We're going to the other leg. Now we're having the IVF, so the toes are putting forward, and they're pressing a bit into the ground. The IVF, the in vitro fertilization therapy, IVF therapy. We have Sir Robert Edwards and Patrick Steptoe. We have no date, only with the first. I don't want to say these words. I think they are degrading. Maybe I misunderstand the most of degradate, but I don't like these words. And we're having the leg at the outside. We're letting the leg at the outside, but we are not pressing it around. And the first child fertilized that way was born in 1978. So 1978. It would be 1 year before Margaret Thatcher became Prime Minister. But I think 1978 is an easy number. And we're pressing again the leg into the floor. So IVF. Sir Robert Edwards, Patrick Steptoe. We're going to the next exercise. We're having one more like that. The hydraulic carting. We're having the leg at the outside with a flexed foot, and now we're turning the foot up and again down. Let's go through what we already had. So it started with a television, and where we have JLB, John Logie Baird. It was John Logie Baird who developed during the 1920s the television, and the first successful test was from broadcasting was from Glasgow to London in 1932, 10 years after the radio. And when we're having Sir Robert Watson Watt, he made the radar, and the first successful test was in 1945. And when we're having, did we have any way to remember it? Sir Bernard Lovell. Yes, and once more upon Sir Bernard Lovell, who at Jodrell Bank in Cheshire built a radio telescope, which was the largest by its building and is still in use. We're having a leg at the outside and bringing it up, so not with the other leg, and the main part of the body stays frontal as much as possible. And when we are having the Turing machine, Alan Turing developed during the 1930s, the Turing machine, and when we are having co-discovered insulin by John McLeod, and when we are having someone made the Hoover vehicle, Hoovercraft, that is how we want to remember it. Sir Christopher Cockerell, the Hoovercraft. So the Hoovercraft, Sir Christopher Cockerell. And we're going to the next exercise, the car racer. Here in the legs in 1990 position, and we're going with the hands to the knee which is behind of us, and we're leaning in front of the shoulder to the knee which is in front of us. So Sir Christopher Cockerell, and that is the Hoovercraft. We having the update or not? The Hoovercraft, no. Where? 1950s. Can you remember it? I said something with the age. Hoovercraft 5, like Kevin Howard. Fifth wife of Henry VIII. Hoovercraft 1950s. And not to the other side, with the hands to the knee just behind of us, and we're leaning in front of the shoulder to the knee just in front of us. So Sir Christopher Cockerell, the Hoovercraft in the 1950s. We're having jet engine. Sir Frank Whittle, the jet engine. That was in the 1930s. So 1930s. So in the 1930s was a television test, but developed in the 20s. And then there was also radar and the Turing machine. Insulin having no date. And the jet engine. Structure of DNA was Sir Francis Crick. So, not just Francis. Francis Crick and Sir Frank Whittle, the jet engine. A jet engine in the 1930s. And the DNA 1953. And the next exercise, we're going into the 1990 legs stretch. So just 1990 for the legs, we're going just in front. Francis Crick DNA, and now the Concorde in the year of the moon landing, the Concorde in the year of the moon landing, 1969, and the Harrier jumper jet without any more information. And now IVF, Robert Edwards. Maybe we can make it in a sentence. A big step in fertilization is like that. A big step in fertilization was with Patrick Steptoe and Sir Robert Edwards. That Patrick Steptoe, they're going into the 1990 position, only if you know how to do it without injuring yourself. A big step in fertilization was with Patrick Steptoe and Sir Robert Edwards. We're saying 15. Let's count them. We're having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we're... Is throttle bank the invention? And I think with this and the previous page, I'm meaning that page, so 57, 56. It was a big step in fertilization that Patrick Steptoe, and Sir Robert Edwards. I'm looking for an adjective to say what a step it was, maybe something with the P, but I can remember Patrick. But maybe Patrick is possible, and we're needing something for Robert. Or for Edwards? It was an energetic step that Patrick Steptoe and Sir Robert Edwards pioneered, I don't know what it is, the IVF therapy. And 1978 it was the first child fertilized by that way born. We're going to the other side, and first into the 1990 leg stretch we're going from. An energetic step was it with Patrick Steptoe, and an energetic step was it with Patrick Steptoe and Sir Robert Edwards pioneered in the IVF therapy in 1978. And we're going into the patient stretch. Do it only if you know already how to do it without injuring yourself. In 1969, two British scientists, Sir Ian Wilmot and Keith Campbell, led a team which was the first to succeed in cloning a mammal. So cloning, Dolly the cloned sheep, Keith Campbell and Sir Ian Wilmot. Maybe they are all fitting some on this. Just to remember, just the names without anything by it, just cloning, Keith Campbell, Sir Ian Wilmot. Cloning, Keith Campbell, Sir Ian Wilmot. Cloning, Keith Campbell, Sir Ian Wilmot. And this is maybe an idea. Cloning, we're having the cloning, switching at the top, and cloning, Keith Campbell, and then as the final, Sir Ian Wilmot. Cloning, Keith Campbell, Sir Ian Wilmot. And the last exercise, the butterfly stretch. The toes of the feet are put together. We're sitting straight up and leaning a bit in front. So cloning, straight leg and a bit in front. Cloning, Keith Campbell, cloning, Keith Campbell, and Sir Ian Wilmot. And that was in 1996. Thank you very much. And next time.